I am bold, and I will speak clearly so others may hear what I have to say.
Why, thank you. Good day to you.
Good day to you too, Bashar. Bashar,
Yes.
first and foremost, I want to say thank you for what you're doing here, and also thank Darryl, Anka, for channeling you through him.
It is our pleasure. It is his pleasure. You are our pleasure.
Bashar, I've recently learned about you this year
Yes.
through watching YouTube videos.
Oh, all right.
It really resonated with me, all the videos that I watched of you.
That would be the reason I would assume you're probably here. If
Yes.
it hadn't, you'd be somewhere else, and that's okay too.
Yes, I've followed my greatest excitement.
Why, thank you. I am following mine too. What a coincidence that we both share so much in common.
Bashar, I was
Yes?
wondering if you can assist me.
I am assisting you. But remember that I'm assisting you to assist yourself. Yes?
Say that again, I'm
I
sorry.
am assisting you to assist yourself. Yes?
Yes.
That's what I'm assisting you with. Learning how to assist yourself.
Thank
Becoming
you.
self-empowered. So
Thank
I am assisting you. In what way would you like us to reflect to you what you already know to be true?
Bashar, 11
Yes?
years ago, when I was 22 years old,
Yes?
I started to lose hair.
Oh, all right.
And
Where did you lose it? Under the couch? Do you need to hire a hair hound to find it?
no,
Oh, all right.
actually, at that age,
Yes.
I kind of panicked.
Why?
And
I was born with no hair and never had any. The males in our society have no hair. Ever.
Well, that's one of my questions. Why is there hair loss?
Well, for a variety of reasons. Everything has an energetic reason, which translates into a physiological reason. But sometimes it is part of the overall theme that you're exploring, and sometimes it's simply allowed to be what is in physical reality, because by choosing that particular incarnation, it was simply something that you didn't even really care about at the time when you chose it, because you knew it would be inconsequential to the idea of your path. So it didn't really matter. Nevertheless, it can be a sign and a reflection of many things, both positive and negative. What do you prefer it to be? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Well, then there's no cause for panic, is there?
Absolutely not.
All right, so?
Well, at that age, I did panic, and I
All
begged my
right.
parents.
But you are now a different age.
Yes, I am a different age now.
So you are no longer panicked?
I am no longer panicked, but
Then why are we having this conversation? Why are we having this conversation about it?
well, I got a hair transplant at the age of 22,
Oh, all right, and
and
how's it working out for you?
I regretted it the day I got it, and I
All
knew
right.
it would be one of my biggest mistakes.
Well, again, you have learned something. Many people on your planet will refine the understanding of what they prefer by first experiencing something they don't by comparison. So they have more clarity about what they do prefer.
Yes,
You can shave it off, can't you?
yes, I can.
Well,
Yes.
so not such a big deal, is it?
Well, there's kind of shame in
Why?
having a scar on the back of my head, and
Yes.
it-
Why
it-
is it shame as opposed to pride in having discovered something that works for you?
well, it reeks of insecurity, superficialness.
That's what you're saying. Why are you defining it that way? Don't you know how many women on your planet love scars? And think it's very manly to have a scar? Don't you know that?
I have yet to meet one.
But you know why you have yet to meet one? Because you're defining it as something shameful.
Yes, this is where I need your help.
Well, I just gave you the answer. Why would you want to attract someone who has the same definition of shame that you do? So when you change the definition and you relax the idea of what you think other people will think of you, and when you stop thinking of yourself in a negative way and stop berating yourself and negatively judging yourself for the actions that you take and chalk it up to, oh, well, that was an interesting adventure, so what? Then you will attract individuals who will also have the same attitude. Who cares? Really, who cares? Who cares that you would care about? There may be people who care. There may be people who look at it as a shameful thing. Oh, ooh, that was terrible. Oh my God, that's horrible. But those aren't the people you really want to hang out with, is it? Is it?
No, it's not.
So why be bothered by that? Why not simply know that if you treat yourself with respect in this matter, that there will other people come along who will treat you that same way? Why not focus on that reality? Why give in to definitions you don't prefer about it, and thus continue to experience effects that you don't prefer about it? Are you harebrained?
I'm sorry, harebrained?
Yes. You understand the term in your language, harebrained? A harebrained scheme? A crazy scheme? Harebrained.
Harebrained.
It's a term in your language.
It's my first time hearing
All right. Look it up. But the idea is that you're focusing on the idea of the hare, and you're focusing on the idea of loss and all these other negative definitions about it.
I like to end it here. I like to finish it here right now.
Finish it. It's finished. Do what you want. Shave it off, grow it again, have it redone another way. It's up to you. It really is. It only matters how you perceive yourself in all of these explorations. These explorations are giving you an opportunity to understand that you have negative definitions about yourself. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So this experience has illuminated for you how many negative definitions you have about yourself.
Yes.
Isn't that a beautiful thing to discover so that you can let them go?
Absolutely.
Then your hair has served you well.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Well, can you let it go?
Yes, I let it go.
All right. Well, thank you.
Bashar,
Now, you just had an entire audience of people applaud you on this subject. Does that give you some understanding that it's possible?
Absolutely.
All
yes.
right. Thank you.
Bashar,
Yes.
my next question has to do with cannabis.
Yes.
in
We've
one
already
of-
been talking about this to some degree.
Yes, in your videos you say that when you're smoking of cannabis that you don't need to smoke, where you can get
I
to
just
that.
said it again tonight. The teachers teach you how to feel, how to recognize a particular frequency vibration that allows you to explore other dimensional levels. Once that has been instilled within you, once you believe you understand it, once you believe you get it, you can generate the energy yourself and you no longer need the teacher. Continuing to think you need the teacher beyond the timing you actually need the teacher is called addiction. Because what you're doing is saying, I always need this, and then it doesn't become a teacher, it becomes a crutch. And it becomes a reflection of the idea that you're not self-empowered. And that's not what the teachers are designed to do. They're designed to let you know that if you can experience that vibration, you have that ability to create that vibration within you, or you could never have had that experience regardless of what you inhaled. You understand?
Yes.
So, if you understand it, if you finally get it, all right, once, twice, 3 times the charm, as you say, by then the idea is that you know what that feels like. You can generate that energy just by remembering what that feels like. And as soon as you understand that that's the same thing as being in the state, then you can act from that state and you will have applied the lessons of the teacher instead of constantly going back to school. Haven't you graduated this class yet? The teacher says. I taught you 6 years ago in this class. Why haven't you graduated to the next class? Why are you hanging around, still reading the same textbook over and over and over again? Get out of here. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Why, thank you.
Bashar, one last thing.
You said that was the last.
I'm sorry. Did I just one last thing, Bashar?
Okay, but just one.
Yes. On November 30th
Yes.
of this year, I watched one of your videos where you talk about Mozart,
Yes.
Symphony 7, Movement 2, I believe. First 3 minutes of that part.
Yes. But it wasn't Mozart.
I'm sorry, Beethoven.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I was listening to that on YouTube. There's a 30-minute loop of it.
Yes. And?
And well, while I was meditating, you said to wash away all emotions, all negativity that you have,
Yes.
and whatnot.
It's a permission slip.
Yes.
If it works for you, wonderful. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
And so I meditated to that,
Yes.
and I experienced so many different emotions. I was crying, and
That's good.
and then I was laughing hysterically.
That's good too.
And then my head was kind of moving back and forth.
Yes.
And my hand was also moving like this, like a conductor in an orchestra.
Yes.
And
when are you going to say something unexpected?
And then I became Beethoven.
Yes. You aligned with that frequency and understood the intention of the creation of that music.
Yes. And ever since that, I can't stop listening to music. And I bought
Oh,
a
that's horrible.
No, it's
What a tragedy. I feel so sad for you. My goodness. How can you stand it? Must be sheer torture. Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for aligning with the music of the spheres and something that is far more representative of your natural, true vibration. Each of you is a song, a beautiful song. Sing that song to yourself.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania!
We have a question from our Ustream listeners.
All right.
And that question is, can you speak more on the comet Ison and what happened with that comet?
Well, it's still happening. It is still in its trajectory around the sun, close to your planet, relatively speaking. And again, the idea is that whatever magnitude of brightness it may display can be, again, a permission slip symbol of the raising of the frequency of your collective consciousness more and more and more. It is a representation of timing in that sense. And oh, by the way, it's a comet. Thank you. It's not a spaceship or anything like that. It's a comet. But the idea is it's a symbolic representation of your collective consciousness to show you the timing of the year of transformation and to give you an understanding by its reflection of how much you have changed vibrationally. In that sense, it's like sending off sparklers or lighting your birthday candle. So the idea thus then is to take solace and assurance from the understanding that it's a reflection of how much you've changed and how bright you are shining now.
Yippee.
Kaye.
I'm thinking that on that uplifting note,
Yes.
that maybe it's time to have the holotope experience.
Then we will allow you a very short break and we will continue with the holotope meditation when we retransmit. Enjoy a short break.
I see a massive rush to, not everyone has to go right away. If you like your seat, you know. Okay, so whatever you all want. So who would like to go first?
Hello?
And a you good day.
I had a question.
Yes.
I was doing some like basic math with phi ratio, and times
Yes.
128, and it came really close to the Uranus frequency when it's in the audible hearing.
Yes.
Is there any correlation to that?
Yes, of course. The idea is that you're allowing the vibration that leads you into deep mystery to discover hidden things within yourself. That's what that reflection is representative of in the collective consciousness of your planet.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I guess so.
You guess so.
Yeah.
Is that another way of saying not really?
Well, I was thinking the whole energy of Uranus. I feel like there's even some correlation with the Earth frequency. It's like
Well, there's
flip
always
side.
correlation with everything that reflects back to you. Of course, there has to be. Otherwise, you wouldn't even be aware that the frequency exists if there was no correlation. So yes, there has to be. The Earth vibration has to have some representative feedback to that vibration in order for you to be able to take advantage of the reflection. So yes, of course. But the point is it symbolically, archetypally represents a specific frequency that has to do with revealing hidden mysteries within your consciousness.
Okay.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that should be good.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I think that should be it.
You sure?
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. You as well. I'd first like to just express my gratitude.
All
you.
right.
Very kind and compassionate that you share with us your
Deep
ideas.
appreciation to you as well.
Yes. Thank you. So I'll start by making a few statements.
Please.
I play poker. And
all right.
It's very exciting for me. I very much enjoy that.
All
And
right.
had a few experiences recently while playing where it really seems as if so basically I had an understanding of how thoughts turn to things. Like people often speak of how you create your own reality with your thoughts. And
Yes, not so much your thoughts, but your beliefs. Your thoughts are actually secondary to that. They are a reflection of what you believe to be true in your definitions. But we understand that that can be a shorthand.
okay, so the beliefs are at the center, so to speak, and the thoughts and the physical manifestations come thereafter?
Yes.
Okay.
Although, again, not always in the way that you may think. Because you don't always know exactly what the best possible way is for that manifestation to occur that really serves you. Sometimes you think you know the best way, but that's not always the case. You have to just let it come in the way that actually serves you. You have to know that whatever does happen is what needed to happen at that moment to take you through whatever process actually will get you where you really need to be.
That is well said. I've also had some experiences like that,
Yes.
I think. Cool. Yeah, so what I was going to touch on was while playing poker, I've had the experience of seeing how my vibrational state, which I guess I equated to what my thoughts were in that moment,
Yes.
which may not have exactly been that, but
That's all right.
yeah, it was interesting to see how just this, there's like a very delicate balance of
yes.
how to be in, I guess, what you've coined the term of the balance point.
Yes.
And how that actually results in me having the results that I would like to have.
Conditions.
Yes, okay.
It can often do that, but you can't insist on it. Otherwise, you're not in the balance point.
True. I've also had losing experiences in poker, you know, losing at the game where I was still in that balance point.
Yes. And you can still learn something from that.
Yeah, and I did, and that was
All right.
also quite profound.
Yes, it is.
But I'd be lying to myself if I said that I didn't prefer to win. That's,
A preference is one thing,
yeah, and insistence is something else.
and insistence is something else.
Yeah.
Insistence is resistance.
Yes, that's
Preference
well said.
is just a neutral observation of what is more aligned with your frequency. That's all. So there doesn't need to be any insistence with it because it's the natural thing that aligns with you. It is a neutral preference. You don't really have any judgment on it as to the idea of how the manifestation needs to occur, because you simply know that whatever is happening is actually part of your preference, even if it looks like it's not. You see, sometimes people will manifest things they don't prefer, but that may be there for a good reason. And therefore, manifesting something you don't prefer may actually be what you prefer because of what it will teach you.
Yes.
You understand?
Absolutely.
If
yes.
nothing else, sometimes manifesting what you don't prefer will give you more clarity by contrast to what you do prefer. And that's a more positive way to use what you don't prefer. Yes?
Yes, I agree entirely with that.
Oh, all right. And so the balance point that you are talking about and allowing yourself to remain in that balance point is what actually gives you, to use your own terminology, the best possible poker face.
Well said. Yeah, so...
because then nobody knows what you're thinking. Because you almost aren't thinking at all.
Yes, there's...
So the best way to prevent people from knowing what you're thinking is to stop thinking.
It's hard to argue with. I'd have to agree.
This is taking the game to a whole new level.
It is. I've really felt that way over the recent past, but this is, I guess, an affirmation of kind of already what I've sort of experienced. I didn't, I suppose, need an affirmation, but I just thought it would be a fun thing to share with you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else?
Yes. So I had a really fascinating experience. I drank ayahuasca a couple weeks ago. And
talk about playing poker.
I'm not sure I catch the reference.
Well, it's not in the negative sense a gamble, but you are allowing a lot of other beings to see your cards.
Okay.
Yes?
Well, I kind of had assumed they were benevolent, so I wasn't really that concerned.
Oh, yes. I'm not saying or suggesting that they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was definitely some cards being turned up, to say the least. So I want to share one thing in particular, but before I get to that, I'll just say that the main message I received was basically just to not be ashamed to be human. I thought that was...
Why should you be? Yes.
Well, exactly, but it kind of took that experience to allow me to realize that there was some sense of shame.
Yes.
And
for many people on your planet, they are ashamed of being who they are, whether that means human or the personalities that they deem themselves to be, all of which are nothing but projections anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
On discarding that one.
that was a good pun. Yeah, so the thing I found especially interesting was at one point in the night, I got up to use the restroom.
Yes.
And in the dimly lit restroom, when I went to the sink to wash my hands, I looked in the mirror and I saw my own reflection. And it kind of hit me in that moment what you'd mentioned in a previous transmission about looking in the mirror and seeing a parallel reality version of yourself that isn't actually you, it's someone slightly different.
Yes.
And it felt very apparent to me in that moment without having previously thought about this idea.
All right.
That that's what that was.
Yes.
And that was really cool. And I kind of like looked and smiled at quote unquote myself.
Yes.
And I just knew there was some like subtle difference. I couldn't tell quite what it was, but I felt like that other individual also felt the same way. It was very interesting.
You can create that kind of a reflection which can amplify itself back and forth and allow both you and the parallel version of you to shift in a very accelerated way from that point forward. You can use it that way.
Yeah, I feel that something along those lines may have occurred. Yeah, I very much enjoyed that experience. It was
all right. Thank you for your creation of it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of right now. I very much enjoy interacting with you. It's a lot of fun, but I'm not sure I have really anything else worth sharing right now.
That's all right. You don't have to.
Yeah,
Everything you have already shared makes you, in our opinion, a 5-card stud.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
So my question is about how to balance my logical mind with my emotional mind.
Yeah.
Because I seem
IQ with EQ.
I seem to get out of balance either.
You seem to?
Yeah.
Or do you choose to? Which way feels more self-empowered?
Choosing.
Because if you're choosing to be out of balance, at least you know you're in control of that and can change it. When you say, well, I seem to be, you're giving up your power to some random concept that doesn't allow you to know that there is any probability of really changing that. So the first step in changing it is to admit and take responsibility for having chosen it, because then you're in power to change it. Now, you may not know why you chose it, that's fine. But it will be in your unconscious mind somewhere a definition that made it seem logical to choose that. That's what we have described before as the motivational mechanism within all of you. This is a given law. You will always, always, always move in the direction of what you believe to be in your best interest. You will always immediately and automatically move away from what you believe is not in your best interest. So if you can see yourself choosing things that you know are not in your best interest, and you understand the motivational mechanism we've just described, that can only mean that you must be making what is in your best interest seem to not be, or what is not in your best interest seem to be. That's the only reason you would choose something that's not in your best interest, is you have a definitional belief attached to it that makes it seem to be better than the alternative. You understand? Because if people, for example, are afraid to move ahead on their excitement because they have a belief that something bad will happen to them, and they believe that not moving is a safer bet, they will stay where they are. They will keep choosing the safer bet because they have attached to their excitement a negative definition of the outcome. So you'll avoid it at all costs. When you realize that that may be the kind of definition you've attached to it, you will realize that doesn't make sense. It's illogical. And as soon as you realize there's no reason to attach a negative definition to your excitement, then that definition is gone. And you can start choosing things that you know are in your best interests. Because you will have cleared out the definitions that would make it seem otherwise. Is this making some sense?
It is making some sense.
Can you apply it to any specific definitions within you that would allow you to choose things you know are not necessarily in your best interest?
I guess I would have to become more conscious of all my choices.
I guess so. Well, let me ask you this question, because again, this is usually the one for your people that will typically, not always, but typically reveal what the definition is, the fear-based definition is. And the question is, if you were to actually move forward on your passion in life, what are you afraid might happen? What are all the reasons you create for yourself to not move in the direction of your preference, of your excitement, of your passion?
Running out of money.
Running out of money. Oh, all right. Are you saying that that's not an exciting thing? It could be. It could be the best thing that ever happened to you. How do you know?
That's a good point.
Thank you.
It could be.
You see, this goes back to what we say about your definitions, because we understand how things work on your world in general. But the idea is that many of you become way too focused on one particular way in which things work when there are other ways. And you're not allowing your definition to be broad enough to include the other ways. When you focus only on one symbol of abundance, such as money, not invalidating it, not discounting it at all, but it's only one symbol. There are other symbols of abundance, other symbols of support. But when you only focus on one as if that's the most important one, you are closing the doors through which other forms of support and abundance could come. Because you're saying you won't recognize them. If it's not this, I can't be supported. I don't understand how I could possibly be supported if it doesn't come in this form. That's a very limiting and restrictive belief system. But when you understand that abundance is simply one of the natural tools of excitement, and it will bring you whatever form of abundance and support you need to continue to act on your excitement, then you can relax your definition and open all the windows and doors and let abundance come in all its forms. Sometimes somebody may just give you something. That's a form of abundance, you know. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes.
Sometimes synchronicity will bring you information that you need at exactly the right time. That's a form of abundance, you know.
Yes.
So why not let more forms of abundance come into your life rather than worrying that you might lose one particular form?
That
Yes?
sounds like a good idea.
Well, thank you. The idea is that if money needs to be there, then the right amount of money will come, but it may not be sufficient to allow for the big picture, but the rest of the other forms of abundance will fill the other spaces. So that sometimes it may be, well, you just need this much money, and you need this much gift, and you need this much synchronicity, and all together, you've got your support. Mm-hmm. If it needs to be all money, that's what will come, because that will be the path of least resistance. But your first clue that it might not be the path of least resistance is, it's not coming. That's your moment to look around and go, could there be other forms of abundance that I could allow in? That's where your imagination opens up. Because when you're on the level of the vibration of your passion, you will actually be capable of thinking, of imagining other things that might bring other forms of abundance in. But if you're only focused on one form, you are actually not only closing the door to other forms of abundance, you're closing the doors in your imagination to being even capable of imagining how other forms of abundance could come to you. So you will not even conceive of opportunities you could be acting on that could give you everything you need, because you will not allow them to be visible, because you're not in the correct frequency. Mm-hmm. You cannot perceive what you're not the vibration of first. This is just physics. Mm-hmm. You have to be that frequency first. And when you are, all sorts of things that are commensurate with that frequency will come to you. You'll think of things. Other people might call the things you imagine crazy, but that doesn't mean they won't work for you. They don't have to work for them. They just need to work for you. Mm-hmm. Is this making some sense?
Definitely.
Is this helping?
A lot.
All right. Anything else?
So do you think it would be wise to just follow my highest excitement and not be concerned with societal expectations?
Let me think about that for a moment. Please understand this. The philosophies you think are what you're hearing are not philosophies. We're actually giving you, literally, an instruction manual for how reality works. We're literally giving you formulas. You follow?
Yes.
It is no different when we say, act on your highest passion every moment that you can, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, with zero insistence or assumption as to what the outcome ought to be. That is literally an energy formula. It is physics. It's an instruction manual. It will activate everything you need. It will leave nothing out. It will give you all the tools in the kit of excitement, because it's a complete kit, and nothing relevant will be left out. And all you have to do is remain in a positive state no matter what happens, and you will get the beneficial effect. This is an instruction manual, absolutely no different at all than if someone gave you an instruction manual to operate a piece of machinery, to learn how to drive one of your automobiles. You would say, the instructions say, find the key. Oh, this must be the key. There's a picture of it. Yes, looks just like it. Put it in the slot called the ignition. Oh, all right. Put it in. Turn it this way. Turn it this way. The engine will start. Yes, I hear it started. Now, step on the brake. Step on the brake. That's that one according to the instruction manual. Put the car in gear. Okay, that must mean this thing here. And now step on the gas. The car should move. Oh, yes, it's doing that. Why is it doing all of that? Because I followed the instruction manual. Simple as that. What we are giving you is literally a description of how reality works. It's literally an instruction manual. So if you actually do it as precisely as you can, like you would for any instruction manual, you will see that reality is already working. The instruction manual we're giving you doesn't mean it's not working. The instruction manual we're giving you is giving you an opportunity to experience that it already works in a positive way for you instead of a negative way. Because synchronicity is always working, but you can experience negative synchronicity or positive synchronicity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, if you really understand that this is an instruction manual and you just follow the instructions just as you would with any machine, you will see it's that simple. It works. Does that help?
Yes.
Does that answer your question?
It does. Can I ask one more question?
That was a question. You want to ask another one?
One more.
Yes.
What if you follow the instruction manual and follow your highest excitement and you end up in a less than preferable state?
Thank you for bringing that up. You see, this, as you have just said it, is the absolute crux of the issue that all of you have difficulty with. When you say, if I follow my excitement, what if something less than exciting happens? What you have to realize is what you've just said is not a definition of excitement. It's a different definition. You follow me? To say, I am acting on my excitement, but something can happen that's not representative of my excitement, is not a definition of your excitement. By definition, when you are in your excitement, nothing can happen that you don't find exciting, even if it's what you don't prefer. You find it exciting because you know that to stay in that state means you will extract the benefit from it. So to say something bad can happen when I'm acting in my excitement, when I'm in my state of excitement, is an oxymoron. It's a contradictory definition. It's not a definition of excitement. It's a definition of a completely different reality experience. The reality experience of, I think I'm acting on my excitement, but I find out I'm not. That's the definition you just gave me. It's not a definition of excitement. So that's why it's so important to be clear about your definitions. Your definitions have to be purely representative of the state that we're talking about, or they're not that state. Your definitions will be only commensurate with whatever state is reflective of the definition you're creating. And that's a different state and a different reality experience altogether. Yes?
Yes.
Is that making some sense?
Yes. I guess what happened is I followed my excitement and then I
Didn't get what you preferred.
didn't get what I preferred.
But why should you? That's what I'm saying. You see, when we talk again about acting on your passion, it has to be done for its own sake, not because of what you think is supposed to happen. Because, as I said, sometimes you will get things that objectively, neutrally, you may recognize are not things you prefer. But you have to know it's there for a positive reason if you're actually in a positive state. If you don't know it's there for a positive reason, you're not in a positive state.
I understand.
You have to know that no matter how it looks, no matter how it was created, no matter what anyone else's opinion is about it, you, by staying in a positive state, can only extract a positive and beneficial effect from that circumstance, from that manifestation. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter what happens. It only matters what you do with what happens. That's what matters. Matter. That's what matters. The circumstance doesn't create the material. The state of being does. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. We'll see.
We will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All of these concepts and all of these instructions in the instruction manual are actually very simple. Once you get the hang of it, once you practice, once you wrap your mind around understanding them as a literal instruction manual, it will not seem complicated at all.
Good day to you, Bashar.
And good day to you.
First, I'm excited to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity. It feels like this was synchronicity that I needed at this point. I'm
Yes.
experiencing a really challenging period in my life.
Congratulations. How exciting. Challenges are representative of the themes you chose to explore in this life. Challenges don't have to be negative. Challenges can be defined as fun.
Part of what I'm thankful for is the fact that over time I learned that sort of attitude from your teachings.
Yes.
But this particular challenge I'm having
Yes.
is not something that I'm finding.
Well, would you care to share some specifics?
My best friend and partner for my entire adult life
Yes.
committed suicide.
All right. Because?
She spiraled out of control.
Because?
I think that's part of what I'm asking for your...
Because she was never given the tools to understand how self-empowered she was. You understand?
I tried to bridge that gap with her, and we
Yes.
made some friends who seemed to be synchronistically drawn to us at the time when
Yes.
we would need that kind of support.
But it wasn't enough.
It did not.
Understand that when people are not raised understanding the tools, they also may not have the tool to understand the tools. In other words, they simply have created a reality where they make it incapable of learning the tools. That can be one of the things that they've learned,
Right.
is you can't learn anything else.
Yeah, that was, she was
All right.
pretty stuck.
All right. But you understand now she's not. She is a free spirit and understands now the dynamics that happened in the life and understands how to add that knowledge to her spiritual growth. Yes? You understand that she's okay now.
I struggle with that.
Why? What are your beliefs about the idea of transitioning into spirit?
So people have told me different things. I've heard
Yes,
that
such as?
people who commit suicide are stuck in a karmic loop where they have to resolve the thing that they refuse to acknowledge.
Excuse me, you can't hear it, but I'm laughing. That is an idea that someone can choose to experience, but it's not an automatic thing. It's only based on whatever the strongest beliefs are of the person who made the transition. Now, let's give the most extreme scenario in, let's just say, religious terms, because that's something relatively familiar to most of you.
Right.
Many people feel that, all right, I've been a bad person, and when I die, I'm going to go to hell.
Sure.
Understand that in spirit, physical materiality, while it sort of can still be experienced in some way, is not really physical in the way you understand physicality. And time and space are much more flexible than what you experience in your physical life.
Sure.
So even if someone crossed over and found themselves standing in the fires of hell, the instant they went, oh, I really don't prefer this at all, they would be out of it. Because there's no time lag in spirit. And that instant transition to something different would be the first lesson in understanding that it's their choice to create their reality as they see fit. So while your friend may have, at first, experienced a little bit of a jolt of whatever the belief systems were that made it seem to be the logical choice to take her life, the instant she realized that that was not necessarily something she preferred, she'll experience something completely different. And most everyone will go through what you classically call life review. There's no judgment on it. You just automatically understand all the things and all the choices and all the consequences of the choices, and you, in a sense, sort of re-experience them, but from a different point of view, a little bit more of a detached point of view. It's kind of like sort of being given a refresher lesson about what happened and what you chose and what you did with it. But there's no judgment on it. You will understand, all right, well, I made some choices that weren't necessarily to my benefit in the way that they could have been, but I can still learn from that, and I can still grow from that, and therefore it's okay. And when people get into spirit, one of the first things they experience is they really don't want any of you to worry that they're not okay, because they are okay. They really are. You follow?
I follow that she's okay. I don't feel okay.
Well, I know, but that's only because of your definitions of what's going on. So the idea is to remove the limitations from your own definition so that you understand that sometimes the timing of one person who you are very close to going into spirit before you, no matter what the methodology they may have chosen, is an opportunity for you to stretch yourself to reconnect to them. So in other words, going into spirit is an invitation to you from her to reach for her. And that starts putting your attention more in the direction of the spiritual concepts that will actually assist you in life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm here right now as well.
Yes. So by allowing yourself to know that she is still in existence, closer than you think, many of you are really only separated from the spirit realm by just about this much frequency. And in fact, it's actually closer than that. Let me inform you of something. This is how it works. Understand that in a sense, I'm just going to use these terms to make it an easy illustration. In a sense, spirit is your natural state. Physical reality is just a projection of consciousness. You never actually leave spirit to become physical. Your spirit doesn't leave the spirit realm and go into a physical body.
Right.
You are still in spirit right now with her. You've never left. Neither of you ever left spirit. You are just still dreaming that you've left. She's woken up from that dream. But you're both there. So she is interacting with you on a whole other level of yourself that is already in spirit. The more you raise your frequency to become more your version of the you that is always in spirit, the more sensitive your physical senses will be to being capable of communicating with her in spirit, because you are already there with her and have never left. So you will start being able to see through the dream of physical reality, which is one of the reasons she left before you did. Because you had an agreement that she would help you learn how to be more of yourself. And this is one of the ways in which she's helping you do that, by reminding you through us that you are both in spirit right now, and that you're only dreaming that you're not, and only dreaming that you're separated, which you're not.
Yeah, I have the intuition of that being true, and I feel that urge to reach to her.
Then do so and see what synchronicity brings you that will hone your senses so that in time you will actually know that you are communicating, and you will not feel that there is really any kind of a disconnect.
Did I attract this circumstance to myself?
You both agreed to it. You both agreed that this is how it would work, that this is what you would need at this point in your life to elevate you to another level. We understand that from the physical human perspective, it can at first feel painful and that you can miss the person. We understand the concept of your grief, and we're not invalidating it at all. We're simply saying you can take that energy and understand that it is the energy you're feeling of them. Many times when you grieve, when you miss them, when you cry at what you perceive to be their absence, the paradox is the reason you're feeling that is because they're actually with you. Do you understand? Many times when you remember them and you suddenly find yourself crying, that's actually your reaction to the fact that they're with you. because you're interpreting the fact that they're with you as they're not being with you. And that's why it goes into grief, instead of actually feeling their energy and going, oh, you're here. Do you understand? They are actually present with you when you're grieving.
Right.
That's what you're feeling, and that's why you grieve. You grieve because you sense their presence, except you're sensing it through a negative filter, a negative definition that they're not with you.
Yeah. I have a strong belief in life extension and quality of life extension. So
Yes,
I
yes,
imagined us living together for hundreds of years.
You will live together forever, just not always in the same plane of existence at the same time, but that doesn't mean you can't be in touch. Would you grieve as much if she simply had moved to a different city than you?
No, I was mad the last time I saw her. And I would have still been mad if I hadn't come to understand what happened to her after.
All right. But again, moving into spirit is no different than moving to a different city, that's all.
It feels a lot more permanent and
And
separate.
why does it feel that way? Because of what you've been taught to believe about the idea of the difference between physical and non-physical reality, when there isn't as much difference as you think.
Right. That's another tricky part of this is,
Yes.
this has been a long process by which over the last maybe 2 years, my life has
Yes.
changed dramatically.
Yes.
And she and I experienced a kind of mutual psychosis that left me searching for something. And
Yourself, most likely.
I think I stumbled upon more of myself along the way. I experienced improbable and delicate chain of synchronicities that
Yes.
led me to a new career.
Yes.
Coincidentally, I'm also now playing poker professionally.
All right. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And by the way, this question actually comes from her. Who do you think helped you do that? How about some credit where credit is due? You weren't alone in finding that path. She was with you and helped you. Turn here, look at that. Pay attention to this. Look at that synchronicity. She's been with you. She's never really left. I'm not saying spirits hang around waiting for you to call them. They have lives of their own, but she will always be with you when you need her to be. And it's easier for her to do that, again, in spirit, because space and time are not barriers there. So again, when you feel the grief, feel it. That's all right. Just understand that what you're feeling is actually the energy of her presence. And that when you are grieving and crying and missing her, you are processing her energy to help you understand that she's actually with you. If you actually start going fully through the grieving process, you will actually, at the end of the grieving process, when you finally let go of those definitions that are negative, you will actually be able to feel her very strongly. Yes?
I did feel in the original difficulty that we shared together that there was a way of understanding it that seemed very much like that she was beckoning me down some path that I didn't understand.
Yes. But again,
it's just so different than the concept of what I expected of my life to be.
Congratulations. Why would you want your life to be everything you expect it to be? How boring would that be? Well, I guess I know what's going to happen for the next 50 years. I might as well kill myself.
Yeah, but I could take some comfort in that. It's like...
Can you really?
No.
Trust me, you won't. Trust me, you won't. You may think you will, but you won't. As soon as you become restless, you'll start looking for adventure. You'll start looking for a challenge. You'll know you're not growing. And as soon as you know you're not growing, you will feel like you're dying.
Yeah. I went through that.
And then you'll start living.
I wanted to die when I felt like I had put myself in a corner where my growth was no longer
Yes.
on the path that it could be the highest version of myself.
Many of you will do that. You will force yourselves into a corner, because when you're in the corner, there's nothing to do but turn around and see the way out. Now, again, if you're not given the tools to do that, you may actually take yourself out, because you can't know that you can turn around and see the way out. But you had enough understanding, and she also helped you understand that you could simply turn around once you were in the corner and find your way toward her, toward the light, in your own way. Yes? Because if you actually did take yourself out, trust me, when you arrived in spirit, she'd be standing there going, that wasn't the point. You missed the point. I was trying to give you an information to help you. You missed the point. Oh, well, let's move on. So don't miss the point that she's attempting to give you. Live. Live. Because there are many people who are physically alive who are dead inside. Don't be a zombie. Unless you wish to be.
Nah.
Just remember that a real zombie doesn't eat others. They eat themselves alive. Yes? Isn't that a lovely thought? Keep walking. Keep moving forward. You're fine. She's fine. You're working together still. Lighten up on yourself.
I know I need to lighten up on myself for sure.
Then just do it. There's no reason not to, except the ones you create.
Right.
That would be her message to you. Just do it. It'll be fine. Just do it. Trust her. Yes?
Just the way that I connected with whatever flow of whatever essential quality took me from being so low to this life path that I'm really pleased and excited by.
Yes.
It's such a contrast from making that transformation in myself as compared to now this
Yes.
difficulty that I have.
You don't have difficulty until you define that you do. There is no such thing as an inherently difficult situation.
Are you saying it would be possible for me to really be like completely okay and happy about this?
I am saying it is absolutely possible, and not only possible, but highly probable that you can be absolutely happy and okay about this. Because being okay and happy means you'll be experiencing the things that are reflective of your happiness. It's not that you're going to be happy about the way things are. It's that you're going to be happy about the way things will be when you let yourself get there. So you may not be in that state right now, but you can be in that state. And when you're in that state, things will be experienced differently that will be representative and reflective of the fact that you're happy. Yes?
Yeah, I find
you don't have to
solace-
believe it right now. Just keep walking toward it.
It's like every day I wake up.
Well,
and
that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Every day, wake up. That's enough. Just keep doing that. The things will come to you that you need to show you where your happiness lies. She's working with you. Let her in. Don't keep her at bay. Don't push her away. Don't be angry. Let her in. All right? That'll do.
Thanks.
Pleasant dreams.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I'm happy and grateful to be here and communicate with you.
All right, we are also grateful for the co-creation.
Thank you.
What would you like to discuss?
Well, I'm preoccupied I don't connect the dots about the concept of all existing simultaneously in the same past, future, and now.
Yes. You don't quite understand that concept?
I do not. I hear you, and I hear you many times.
Yes. Well, let me put it to you this way. What time is it?
Now.
That's all there is. So that's all there is for anything to exist in. Everything is happening all at once. Everything is created all at once. There is no other time but now. Therefore, everything has to fit in that now. So the only way you can really do that is to allow everything to be a different perspective of now, a different vibration of now. It's all the same place and all the same moment, but just from another point of view. It's holographic. It's like looking at any object. That is the one object that there is. That's all there is. But maybe you're looking at it from this side, then maybe you're looking at it from that side, maybe someone else is looking at it from that side, and from that side, or the top or the bottom. But you're all looking at the same object at the same time, but you have different experiences because you have a different perspective of the object. It's similar to that idea. There is only one thing. Therefore, it has to be shared in some kind of ultimate time-sharing process. And that means that everything is going on at once, but you don't think so because everyone's perspective is really a different reality. And you don't see the other realities from your perspective. You only see what's reflected back to you at the angle from which you're looking at it. Does this help?
It does. It does partially.
All right.
So if I take that, which I do entertain that concept of one moment of the now,
Yes.
viewing it from all directions, so therefore there's all directions to this one
Yes.
now. So how can I interact this with the fact of incarnations of
Well, that's
self?
what I'm saying. The incarnations all exist now. Reincarnation is just, in a sense, an effect. It's just a side effect of your perspective. You can create the experience as if it's one life after another, but that's just the way you're arranging the perspectives. The fact is, all those lives all exist at the same time. You've heard us talk about the film strip analogy?
Yes.
So that doesn't help clarify it for you?
It does not, only from the fact that I am a consciousness.
Yes.
So at this moment, in this now, I am Yael standing up here.
Yes.
So I identify myself as such.
Yes.
But in another, through this strip of stagnated film,
Yes.
I am also, if you're saying the way you're saying it, that I am, let's say I had 100 expressions or incarnations.
Yes.
So what about the 99? If I am occupying this now,
Then the
yet
others
you're
are
saying,
occupying a different perspective, a different experience.
So am I the one who is overseeing all the 100?
That's the oversoul perspective of yourself. But every single one of those others is their own person. And from their point of view, you are one of the other 99. They consider themselves to be the only one, just as you do.
Am I having an issue with an identity then?
You are an identity. You are a perspective. You are a point of view. That's what your identity is. But every single experience you will ever have will always be seen from that point of view. Even if you create the experience of expanding into different levels, it's always going to be from your point of view, and everyone else is going to have the same kind of experience. Everything they experience, they will always have from their point of view. That's what makes it unique.
How am I them then?
You're not as this you.
So when do I become them, or was
That might happen on a different level. Let's say, as we said, the oversoul level, where you know that you are all of those yous simultaneously, or the all that is level that knows itself as everything, everyone, everywhere, everywhen simultaneously. So you have to go to a different level to have that perspective. But from this level, you are not experiencing yourself as them. That's what this level is all about. That's where the divisions are. That's where the separation experience is created, so you can pretend you are not them. in order to have a singular experience. But you're just, in a sense, pretending not to be everyone else while they're pretending not to be you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this making any more sense?
It does make sense. When is this ending cycle then? I mean,
Never.
am I becoming...
Never ends, never, ever, ever. There is always more. There's always another point of view. There's always another perspective. There's always another level. Even when you reach all that is can experience itself from another point of view.
Yeah, I understand.
Never ends because it never began. It just is.
It's really...
Isness is its quality. Isness, that's it. Everything else is subject to isness. Isness is not subject to anything else. So the idea of time and space, different, past, present, future, that's all within isness, within existence.
Yeah.
But existence is not subject to time and space and all those things.
Yeah.
Is this helping?
It does. Thank you.
All
it
right,
does.
you're welcome. Yes.
And then you mentioned to other people when they ask about themselves about the theme
Yes.
that they came to express here.
Yes.
How can I...
The things that are most challenging in your life are usually representative of your themes.
What if you beyond the challenges and you just live life? I'm not sure what I'm saying, if it's
That
correct.
can be a theme for some people. I'm just going to have a good time. That's it. That can be a theme. Now, it's somewhat rare,
Yeah.
but it can be a theme. However, if you were truly done, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
So if you're still here, you must be doing something. You're exploring something, even if you're exploring doing nothing.
Is it difficult? Perhaps is my personality blocking me from seeing my theme?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's ask the question. Are you acting on your highest excitement every moment that you possibly can with no insistence on a particular outcome? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
I love this question because I hear it so many times.
Yes.
I do. I totally do. And I love my life.
Then there you go. What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong, except perhaps I've been trained to see a focal point to go to. Is the way I'm seeing it. I'm just
so
enjoying
life. So let me get
life.
this straight.
Yes.
You're having a wonderful life and you're asking for more difficulty?
I asked for I don't know if it's the word purpose would be appropriate, but yes, I want a focal point. Everything have a focal point.
Your purpose is to be yourself as fully as you can. That's your purpose. How you choose to do that is up to you. But that's your purpose. To be the you are, the unique perspective you are, as fully as you can. And if you feel and believe that you're doing that, you are fulfilling your purpose. Just by being you as fully as you can. Remember, you don't always know what's going on around you.
That is so.
So others may be seeing something in you they need to see, even if you don't see that you're giving them something to look at.
So my purpose would be perhaps to help others to see that?
Maybe so. But if you're still here, you're serving some purpose in being where you are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be done and you would leave. It's a very simple test. Many people say, oh, I think I'm done. Well, if you can lie down and close your eyes and count to 10 and say, I'm done, I'm gone, and then open your eyes again, you're not done.
Yeah.
Because it is that easy to leave when you're done.
Yes.
But if you can open your eyes and stand up, then you want to be here. You're not done with something. But it may not necessarily be something obvious. So if you feel fulfilled, then go through life being a representative of a fulfilled person, because you never know who you're going to touch and who's going to see you. And maybe just because they see the smile on your face, it will brighten their day and make all the difference. You have no idea what kind of impact you may be having on other people just by being. Yes? That can be a purpose.
Well said.
Why, thank you.
Align with that.
Yes.
Or perhaps not. So one of the times I was listening to a recording of yours that you talk about the blueprint realm.
Yes.
Where we can change things.
Yes. The blueprint level, the template level reality. Yes.
So how can I manipulate going there?
Well, you can become lucid in your dreams. And then you will be aware that you're dreaming. And then when you're aware that you're dreaming, you can, in a sense, be out of your body. And when you're out of your body, you can ask to go to the template level reality. And when you go there, you can look at the template of the physical reality that you've created, and you can make whatever rearrangements you wish.
I like it very much. I just don't trust myself that I'll remember to.
You don't trust yourself? I thought you said you didn't have any of these issues.
This is not an issue. This is just part of.
No? Not trusting yourself?
Well, not trusting that when I'll be there, I'll remember to take it because, again, life is so beautiful.
Not? Why not? If this is of interest to you, is it?
It is.
Then why would you assume that you wouldn't be able to do what you need to do?
I don't know if I'm assuming. I'm actually thinking I have experienced it.
Yes.
But the time, it's like I feel like I'm a little child. By the time I get somewhere, I'm like, it's all vibrating so beautifully high.
Then maybe that's all you need to do. Then maybe that's all you need to do. But again, if it is truly representative of your excitement and you focus your intention on it with excitement, then if it is relevant to your life, it can happen. If it isn't relevant, it won't. So maybe that would be your best clue. It could happen on the very last day of your life. It could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
The point is, it will happen if it needs to happen, when it needs to happen. And if it didn't happen, then it never needed to. And you've lived a happy life anyway, so what do you care?
Yeah.
Yes?
I hear you.
Because remember, the point is to allow your life to become a lucid dream.
Yes.
So if you're living to your fullest and you're in an ecstatic state, then you are living the dream lucidly. And what more could you want anyway?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to change that you can't change just by living?
Well, you comment today to one of the guys here when he asked about the DNA.
Yes.
I do want to activate the dormant ones.
But you are by living your life to the fullest.
So I heard, yeah.
Well, there you go.
I have two little items also. One is you answered someone when he asked you, how do you know what you know? And you said, I know what I know when I need to know it.
Before that, I don't know what I know.
I totally understand it and I agree with it and I'm start applying it into my own life.
All
but
right.
where is the source of information?
Everywhere. Here. Nowhere. Everything is here and now, remember?
Yes.
This so-called idea of the Akashic records,
Yes.
it isn't a place somewhere else.
Yes.
It's just an understanding that every bit of information that exists is right here. And when you operate on a certain frequency level that's representative of that information, then you automatically know it because you're in harmony with that information. It's all right here. Mm-hmm. So whatever level you're on, that's what you get. That's why we tell you, you can't perceive what you're not the vibration of first.
Yeah, I hear you.
Wonderful.
Okay, so one more thing is that to the young...
To the young?
To the young...
you mean like yourself?
First contact, I am young.
Yes.
But to the young that I spoke to, the first contact expertise, that you
trained... you're talking about the trainee.
Trainee, yes. Trainee.
Yes.
So he doesn't have a name.
We don't have names.
Bashar
is not my name. It's just a word that means messenger in one of your languages.
He says that he can be identified by his frequency.
Yes. We all are identified by our frequency. We recognize the frequency of each other. If you want to call that a name, that's fine, but it's not a name like you people have.
So when you want to contact someone, you just focus on their
that
frequency?
Yes.
Well, so if he is deciding to birth himself here in Earth, I thought of a name.
Oh, all right.
Is it okay to give it to you, to give it to him?
He'll take it under advisement.
Yes.
He may not choose it, but he's certainly willing to receive the gift of a suggestion.
So the name will be Ben Messer.
Why that?
It's two words in Hebrew. And the first one is the son of.
Yes.
And the second one is the message.
Son
or
of
deliverance
the message.
of the, yes.
All right. He'll take that under advisement.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. He says, I like Benjamin.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
So it seems to me that we all have a lot of power when it comes to creating our reality.
Yes,
And
you have ultimate power.
Yeah, it seems like I'm getting close to that blueprint reality you were
All
talking
right.
about. Do you like the soul contracts and the lessons we have to learn still come into play when you enter that reality?
Yes, of course, although you can mitigate some of it or accelerate some of it because some of the soul contracts are that very point to learn how to do that.
Okay.
Yes?
So you could theoretically, just by like visualizing something, knock out like a soul contract or like a lesson or whatever you need to do?
Not necessarily just by visualizing something, no. It requires action on your part with respect to the idea of your highest excitement because that's the activation energy.
Okay.
If you just sit around visualizing, you're not really doing anything.
Right, right.
You're not grounding the energy in an action that shows that you're committed to that energy. It's like completing a circuit, grounding a circuit. You can think about something all day long, but if the wire isn't connected to the rest of the machine, it doesn't start moving. It doesn't do anything. You have to flow the current into the physical reality through your physical actions to show, to demonstrate that you understand how to apply this energy.
Okay, that makes sense.
I know, that's why I said it. And visualization, remember, is just your physical mind's best bet at what the outcome might be. This is why we say when you visualize, by all means, have a visualization that to you is representative of, symbolic of the ideal state. You may think that it needs to be literally as you visualize it, but it almost never will be. Sometimes it might be, but most times it won't be. This is why you just use the visualization to the best you're able to create that visualization, making it as exciting as you can possibly make it, as representative as you can of the ideal scenario, and get excited about it. Use the visualization to amp up that excitement, and then utterly drop the picture and remain in the excited state. When you drop the picture, then the higher mind goes, now you've made room for me to give you what is actually representative of that excited state, because what to the physical mind may seem to be the absolute pinnacle experience, to the higher mind, that's just the beginning, kid. You understand? The higher mind can imagine far greater things to give you than you can imagine with the physical mind. So why limit the higher mind's ability to give you something more magnificent than you imagine by insisting it's got to look like the physical mind said? That's actually a limitation, even though you may think it's not.
Right, right.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
All right.
So also on that same note, could you like ground the energy of something you're going for and then without having a process per se?
It is very unlikely, it's not impossible, but it's very unlikely at this point in your history that you will have no process at all, because that's the reason you're here. The process is the point. Can you accelerate it? Absolutely. You can bring it down to the process that's just absolutely necessary and nothing more. That's why we shared the idea of the threshold of believability test with you so long ago. You can winnow it down and winnow it down and winnow it down by examining your beliefs about why you think it might take this long to do something. And as you let go of the beliefs and the time scale starts to drop because now you really believe it can happen sooner, as soon as it goes down to a certain point where you realize you just can't believe it can happen any sooner, then that's how long it needs to take. In your physical reality, in order to give you the experience you need to have, the process you need to go through to actually gain the experience, the appreciation, whatever qualities you will actually need to have the fullest experience of whatever it is that will manifest from that process. But some process is usually required because, again, that's generally the point of why you chose to have a physical life. If you didn't really feel like you needed process, you would have stayed in spirit where there's no time lag at all. You think of something, it's there. But you wanted to experience the creation, to savor the process of creation, to feel your power that way, and to discover yourself from a new point of view through that process. If you're in a state where you already know everything, then there's no change, no growth, no new perspective. So you create the idea of forgetting who you are to go through a process of remembering who you are from a brand new point of view. And that's how you grow. Remember, the structure of existence never changes. Everything already exists as the structure. The way creation grows is that you keep creating new perspectives of the structure, new experiences of the structure that never changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does this help?
It does.
Why, thank you.
All right. And then I have one more thing.
Yes.
About a week and a half ago, I had an interesting dream
Yes.
where I was actually contacted by ETs.
All right.
And they told me if I didn't try to contact them on like a spiritual level,
Yes.
they would contact me on a physical level.
Yeah.
And now I'm right here standing in front of you.
All right.
So, do you have anything to say about that?
Nope.
No?
Except pleasant dreams.
All right. Thanks, Bashar.
Thank you. You see, that's another thing about process. When we deliver information to all of you, we also make sure that we impose limitations on ourselves so we will not spoil a process you're in the middle of.
Hello. Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
It's very exciting to see somebody and talk to another one.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. We are always excited as well for these interactions.
I just have one question, and that question came to me this morning.
Yes.
Back into my memory.
Yes.
I have seen you a while ago in an interview.
Yes.
And the interviewer asked you at the end of the interview a question which I can't remember, but I remember your answer and I don't know the meaning.
Yes.
And your answer was, and you looked to April, and you said, April, you remember, we talked about that. Earth is the God experience. What did that mean?
Are you saying God experience?
Yes?
Yes, well, everything is an experience of God that it's having of itself. But Earth is a school for a particular kind of learning, a particular kind of experience of transforming darkness into light. That's another way that God has of looking at itself, of experiencing itself through these kinds of transformations. Does that make sense?
Yes. So it has to do with creation. You talked about creation just before.
Creation, yes.
So we are creators only on earth?
No, no, no. Remember, all of you are aspects of all that is. It's just that you're pretending that you're not. So that you can experience yourself from different points of view.
Mm-hmm.
But you are all that is.
Right. Simple answer.
Yes.
Thank you. That's my only question.
All right. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'd like to first thank you and everybody else in this room for this co-creation.
All right. Thank you as well.
I have a question about connecting to and learning from my multiple incarnations.
They're not your multiple incarnations, but we understand what you mean.
What are ways to do so?
Well, what does your imagination tell you? You can do it through meditation, you can do it through artistry, you can do it through music, you can do it through a variety of creative expressions. What works for you? What do you imagine you would like to do?
Meditation is good.
Good or wonderful? Fantastic.
It is wonderful. It's great.
All right, all right. Just want to make sure you're actually doing something you find exciting.
I get information. I get downloads.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I'm
well, then
curious,
you're getting what you need, aren't you?
Correct. Yes, I'm curious if these downloads are from spirit guides.
Who cares?
My higher self.
Who cares?
I don't really care, I guess.
Well, then why ask?
Curiosity.
There's no such thing as idle curiosity.
Idle curiosity.
It's either important for you to know or it's not. So, which is it?
That's important.
Boy, I believe you. Yeah, I guess it's important, sort of, kind of. The point we're making is this. Most of the guides, whether it is a spirit guide, an ET, a future self, whatever you want to call it, they're doing their job best when they remain relatively unobtrusive and let you determine what you want to do with the information you've received. Guides guide subtly. Sometimes they teach you how to be your own best guide. They will do the least amount they need to do to allow you to receive what you need to receive.
Understandable.
So, for example, they will often use what's right in front of your face to deliver a message. If you're walking down the street and there's a conversation going on down the block that you need to hear because it contains information you were curious about, excited to learn, well, the guide doesn't necessarily have to deliver it like a booming voice in your head. The guide just needs to whisper, "Turn left." Because the guide knows you will encounter the conversation and get what you need. So they'll often use synchronicity. Yes?
Yes, I understand.
And therefore, they're not interrupting the flow of your life by forcing you to have to listen to some bombastic dialogue from them. They're just allowing you to know what you need to know, just enough to keep moving, to keep growing, to keep flowing. They don't want to interrupt the flow.
Now, let us talk a little bit about some of the ideas of the kinds of dreams that will manifest in your 21st century that you can participate in. And we will come back to a little bit more discussion later of the personality construct of belief, emotion, and thought patterns and action. But let us look ahead into an alternate now. Now, because the future doesn't really exist, it all exists now. What are some of the exciting things that are going to be created by you in the 21st century? Well, very important area that is going to be expanding is the idea of information. So many more of you are going to allow yourselves to find new and exciting ways to receive and share information about so many different things. Whole new companies will come into existence just for the sole purpose of being able to collect and share information. The idea of your so-called internet is the infant version of this idea. Eventually, any information available to anyone will be available to everyone, everywhere, at any time. You could be on top of the highest mountain all by yourself. You could be at the bottom of the deepest ocean all by yourself. But you will invent techniques in order to be able to tap in to know anything you need to know at that time, at that place, no matter where or when you are. You will be able to figure out how to allow the entire planet itself to become one internet. You can be connected to it all the time if you wish. Or you'll be able to be private and alone if you wish. Communication will also expand in understanding. And what we mean by this is as follows. You will begin to understand the vibrational frequency of different states of consciousness, not only within yourself as an individual, but with all forms of life. You will truly learn how to carry on conversations with animals, plants, rocks, anything that exists on your planet. You will understand that you are in a constant relationship with all these things, having a constant communication and conversation with everything in your world and the universe. So beyond the idea of just information, it will be the idea of communication and relationship with all things. And the areas that will benefit from this will be many, especially the notion of education. The education of your children and yourselves will become much more experiential. You will not just sit and listen, you will do and learn. Whole environments will be created to give you experiences in which you can learn new things with all of your senses. Because when you are given a real experience, then you learn more and retain more of that information and can apply more of that information into your life. And so experiential education will expand on your planet. The creation of new stories in new ways. More the idea of being in a play, to read a story rather than just having it read to you. You will take parts and become the story, acting it out. And you can become, in a sense, everything in the play. An ancient technique in Atlantean times was as follows. In order to teach children, they were put in what you would call a more hypnotic state with the beating of a drum. The beating of the drum matched their heartbeat. The beating of the drum was slowed down so that the heartbeat would follow and slow down. Once they were in this trance-like state, then they were shown different objects. And in this trance-like state, they were told that they were the object itself. They were told that they were the sail of a ship or the whole ship. They were told that they were a specific crystal or a specific animal. They were told they were this animal and asked then to feel what is it like to be this rock or be this animal. And thus by playing this part, they would learn about this thing by actually being it and knowing everything that they needed to know about it. So by playing out the story and being the characters and being everything in the story, you will learn more about everything and everyone in the story and live it. You will absorb the knowledge of the story into the cellular structure of your body, and it will be easier for you to apply the lessons of the story in life because they will have become a part of you. As each and every one of you individually, from this point forward, follows and acts on your highest excitement, you may find yourself being attracted to creating new ways, new companies, new techniques, new projects that are similar to some of the things we are describing here. You will learn to trust that your imagination, when you act on your excitement, will bring you everything you need to understand in order to know how to create these things and help the world change. You must trust that your imagination will always bring you the best technique that will work for you in terms of how to act in the direction of your excitement. And one of the most powerful ways to manifest your dream is connected to what we have just talked about. And that is immersing yourself in a full representation, a full environment that represents the reality you would prefer. So when there is a reality that you would like to create that doesn't yet exist, one very strong technique and powerful technique you can use is to simulate it as close as possible. What this means is as follows. If there is a place on your planet that is more representative of your joy, more representative of the environment that would exist in the place where you would do this exciting thing, it would be better if you would actually be in that place. Now, if for some reason you just find that there is no opportunity presenting itself to you to actually travel to that different location that is more representative of your joy, then you must simulate it where you are as closely as possible. Create the environment as closely as possible around you so that you can practice being in that reality. Because if you imagine in your highest excitement that you are going to be the president of a very powerful and creative company, and you see in your imagination that when you are the president of this company, you are sitting in your office behind this beautiful desk in this very big comfortable chair like this. But when you are at your house or apartment, you are sitting in a not so comfortable chair at a little desk like this, then your body energy, your body language is not the same as the body language in your dream. Every little orchestration of energy counts. If you can create a room in your house or apartment to look like the office of the president you will be, in all the ways you can, then you will be creating that reality more solidly. Because when you are the president of that very exciting company, your body language will be very different, perhaps, than the body language that you exhibit now on a day-to-day basis. You must change all of your energy representation to be as close as possible to the way you say you want to actually be when you see yourself living your dream. And so, the idea then is that the closer you can match what you see in your imagination, the more real your body consciousness will believe it is, and the more real energy you will project out that will transform your reality. So, to use another brief example, if your dream is to become a very famous actor, beautifully delivering plays on stage, then find a stage and go on the stage and go through the motions and act out the play and see the audience before you in the seats. And the more people you can ask to help you run through the practice version, the more real it will become. If you can get people to act with you on the stage, then invite them to do so if they would find that exciting. If you can get people to be the audience watching the play and they are excited to sit in the seats and do that, then invite them to do so. Get as close as you possibly can to the end picture, the big picture. If you cannot find enough people willing to act on stage or sit in the audience with you, make cardboard cutouts of people and put them there. Because it will make a difference to your body language if you are actually acting with and acting for something that your eye goes to. Do not put limits on your imagination. Get as close as you possibly can to simulating the dream you say you want to live. And practice it and practice it and practice it and make changes if the changes are more exciting. That energy will radiate out into the world and attract to you all the circumstances, situations, and opportunities that will allow it to come to pass, to come into reality in the easiest possible way. But these opportunities will come in the form that represents your highest excitement. They may not appear to be connected to the dream, but if they contain the highest excitement and you have the greatest ability to act on them, that's what lets you know it is connected. So let this vibration and everything we have discussed with you in this communication sink in and become real. Feel it in your cells. After your nourishment break, we will have some questions to help refine the details of these ideas. Are you excited about taking your nourishment break? Then enjoy your break and we'll resume communication afterwards.
The way we understand the one consciousness,
yes.
I think our group talks about that a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, referring to the one.
Yes.
All right.
Is that it is ever expanding. It's not a fixed entity. Is that
correct?
Okay. You also said, and I think we all understand also, that time is a concept that is created when process needs to happen or needs to be understood.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we also understand that the one consciousness does not experience time or does not sort of...
Well, not the way you do, although it is obviously aware of the concept of time since it is created within the one.
Fair enough. But then let me ask my question and maybe that will make it more specific. How does that process of expansion of the one consciousness occur without being subject to time? Does that make any sense as a question?
Well, yes, it makes sense. And it may or may not be translatable in your experience. I will do the best I can to explain it in human words.
Thank you.
First, let's get some terminology so that we are on the same page. To us, there is actually a difference between all that is and the one. They're not quite the same thing to us. Because all that is does not know itself as all that is. But the one knows itself as the one. That's the difference between the two. The one represents the first level of reflection that creates everything else from the one on down. So, in order for all that is to experience itself, it does then, within itself, shall we say, create a separation, a division, that then becomes known as the one. Obviously, that must involve some sense that you would recognize as a space-time separation. But it is nowhere near as concrete or crystallized as what you call typically space and time in your reality. It's nowhere near as fixed. But it obviously is there to some degree, and it is being used in that sense to create the first separation that then creates all other separations into denser and denser and denser levels of space-time. So yes, the template is even on that level, but it is on that level in its purest, simplest form, only creating a single division that still is experienced by the one as a now eternal moment, but is experienced by the one as the one, whereas all that is has no such experience at all. Does that make sense?
Very much. Just to follow up a little bit on that. So
more follow-up, yeah.
When that first split happens,
yes,
and the one is created from all that is,
yes.
right? Is there another entity that's created? Because when you say split, we always think of something splitting into two or more.
Well, all that is still all that is.
Of course.
Now, in the one, in that moment of the creation of the one recognizes itself as also the totality of polarity. So in that sense, you could say, yes, it recognizes immediately that there is a type of cell division from the one into two. A this and a that, a light and a dark, so on and so forth.
A two-ness, you could call it.
Yes, a two-ness. So the one becomes two automatically, because remember, it is still an aspect of all that is, and as an aspect of all that is, it must contain all that there is, but it contains it and recognizes and experiences it in a manner where it recognizes it as polarity. Whereas in all that is, there is no such recognition at all.
Got it.
All that is just all that is.
Sure.
Without even knowing that it is all that is. But the one knows it is all that is. And the second you know you're all that is, you have to accept all that there is within all that is, and in all that is, there is polarity. So the one becomes the two. Instantly, which then again diversifies into all the other things. So yes, it's a logical progression.
Great.
Make sense?
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bashar, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Actually, you answered one of my burning questions that I had forgotten even to make a note of.
Did we pour some water on it?
Yes,
you
did.
All right, thank you.
Bashar, I have a couple of questions about the different dimensions.
Yes.
We have been talking about a fourth and a fifth dimension.
Yes.
In general, can you help me to understand, is there physicality there as well, or duality exists?
Well, one moment.
Okay.
First of all, we understand in your reality, in your language, sometimes there is some confusion of terminology between the concepts you call dimension and density. Yes. Because many people in your so-called metaphysical movement refer to the idea of fourth density, fifth density. Sometimes people will have these terms interchangeable. Fourth dimension, fifth dimension. They're not exactly interchangeable. Within the reality you would call your third dimension, it is actually a fourth dimensional reality, because you have 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time. Do you understand?
Yes.
That makes it a fourth dimensional reality. So in reality, you're already in the fourth dimension. Obviously, it's physical. Yes?
Yes.
Now, within this fourth dimensional reality, you are actually also then going into what people on your planet have called fourth density. But that's because they are sometimes confusing the idea of third dimension to fourth dimension transference. But there is no fourth dimension transference because you're already there. So going into fourth density is actually going into the fifth dimension. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
does.
All
right, now, in going into the fifth dimension or fourth density, you will find again that what will happen is, yes, there is still physicality. Yes, there is still some degree of polarity. But again, it is not as fixed. You have more flexibility in space and time. You can find it becoming, shall we say, more slippery, unstuck, unglued, so that you can experience more synchronicity, which is your physical translation of experiencing that everything happens at once, that everything is connected. So a symptom, shall we say, a symbol, a marker of transferring from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension, or from, if you wish, third density to fourth density, however you wish to frame it, same thing, is to relax the idea of that structure we talked about before that has been imposed upon your consciousness and let it be a little bit looser so that you experience more of the now, and thus relax the concept of space and time so that you can become more slippery in space, more slippery in time, and find your consciousness moving around in space and time a little bit more fluidly. For example, here is an illustration of how such things can happen beyond the idea of experiencing more synchronicity. Have you ever found yourself getting somewhere physically when you knew it was impossible for you to get there in the amount of time you had, but you got there on time anyway?
Yes.
That kind of thing is where your consciousness is now starting to manipulate time so that you're jumping over what you need and simply arriving when you need to be there, regardless of how much time you thought you might have needed in the old perspective. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's those kinds of things that tell you that you are uplifting your frequency, uplifting your vibration, expanding your consciousness, becoming more aware of the fact that you live in the now. Because in the now, by definition, all things exist. So the more you live in the here and now, the less you need the concept of space and time, because there are fewer details to focus on. When people focus on too many details, and they think they have to make their life work by going through this step and 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 this step, well, you're creating steps that then require more space and more time in which to exist. But if you understand yourself more holistically and just go from here to there and skip all the intervening steps, then you need less time, will experience less time and less space. You'll live more in the now where everything is, and you'll recognize everything is just already here and now. And you'll be able to access it more easily, and the symptoms of that access will be more synchronicity and more slippage in space and time. And also more sensitivity to perceiving with your senses other vibrations, other dimensions, other realities, other frequencies of energies. That's why more and more people now are also seeing more things from other realities, seeing colors, seeing light they never saw before, seeing what you call spacecraft moving in other dimensions, seeing spirits of people that have passed on into the spirit realm. More and more and more, this is coming into your society now, because people are becoming heightened in their sensitivity to things that are representative of what's really here and now. Whereas in the old reality, you filtered 99% of that out. But now you're not doing so much filtering. Is this answering your question?
It does. And
Yes.
I just wanted to ask another question in that regard. So the way that I understand you is that we can definitely experience, let's say, fifth dimension in this physical world, or where we are.
The fifth dimension in that sense is the last level of complete physical reality. Beyond that, it is more quasi-physical, non-physical, which is where we're going, our civilization. We're becoming less physicalized. We're now quasi-physical, quasi-energy beings. But you're just going into the very beginning of that level as a society. Does that make sense?
It does. So we can experience that as we live here.
Yes.
And also the way that I see it is that we may choose, as we go through this growth path, we may choose to experience our next lifetimes in, for example, in fifth dimension. Is that a natural progression of?
It can be. It depends. It depends on your choices. It can be representative of a natural progression, yes. But remember, on that higher level, time is not linear. So you can actually choose a life that from physical reality's point of view would actually be before the life you're having now as your next life. Just because you think you might need that experience for your progression. So on that level, it's not linear. Because remember, from that level, you recognize all lives coexist simultaneously. And you're just keying into them in whatever order you think actually serves you best. So it depends on what you mean by progression. Because some souls will feel that they want to hop all over the place, and that creates the kind of progression they need. And some souls will do it very linearly. They will connect to their lives in what, from a space-time perspective, would appear to be one life after another, one dimension after another. But you don't have to do it that way. In fact, one of the things that lets you know you're really truly functioning on a higher level is that you really stop depending on linearity at all. And you start experiencing yourself in a multitude of ways simultaneously. On a high level, you will experience all your physical lives at once, at the same time, and actually be able to handle all that input all at once. It's similar to the analogy we use on your planet of what you call a film strip. You have a strip of film. There are many frames on that film strip. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Well, each physical life may be one frame. But when you are the projectionist, you can take that film strip and you can stretch it out in front of you and you can see all the frames at the same time. That's a different point of view. You see?
Yes.
So from the higher levels, it's like that. And as the projectionist, you could say, well, now I'm going to look at frame 5. Oh, now I'm going to look at frame 1. Oh, now I'm going to look at frame 10. Oh, now I'm going to look at frame 3. Oh, now I'm going to look at frame 7. You don't have to do it in order because you see them all at once. So it's up to you. If it serves you to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, do it that way. If it serves you to do it some other way, you will. Make sense?
It does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
In one of your sessions,
Yes.
you mentioned that in the history of mankind on Earth,
Yes.
Some unexpected incident happened, and that between Earth and another galaxy.
A galaxy.
Or
are you sure that was the word that was used?
Maybe galactic or another
What is it
beings.
you are specifically referring to? What kind of an incident are you referring to?
That our civilization is going downward.
Downward.
In another word, is declining.
No. If your civilization had chosen to decline, it is probably very unlikely we would be speaking with you. Because we represent the idea of your civilization ascending. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, there are other parallel Earths that are going to experience decline, but are you going to be in that one or the one that's ascending? It's your choice. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Is that answering the question? Or is there something else about this that you are referring to?
Can you elaborate on the last point you just made about the parallel Earth?
Oh, one moment. First, I want to know that we are clear.
Yes, we are.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. If for any reason some of this is not clear, by all means speak up. All right?
Okay.
Thank you. Now, again, everything exists all at once. Anything that can exist does exist. Anything you can imagine, somewhere, somewhen is real, because you can't imagine non-existence. Go ahead, I'll give you a moment, try. There, you see? You can't imagine non-existence. Remember, nothing is not non-existence. Non-existence, by definition, is something you can't experience. So, anything you can imagine, any other version of Earth, any other choice, any other branching choice you may have made is being made on another Earth, or in another reality, or in another dimension. Everything is being experienced that can be experienced. That's why all that is called all that is. Not all that is except for this. It's all that is. So, just as you are experiencing the Earth you are experiencing now, there are also an infinite number of parallel reality Earths experiencing themselves as well. On some of those other Earths, there may be other versions of you. On some of those other Earths, there may not be. But there are an infinite number of parallel Earths experiencing anything you can imagine. Some of those parallel Earths have destroyed themselves already. Others have not. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Is there some specific discussion you wish to have about this concept of parallel reality?
I can try to interject here and try to tell me if I'm maybe helping with your question, because I kind of think I'm getting where you're trying to go. There is, Bashar, a version of the history of the Earth,
yes,
as we're experiencing the Earth right now,
yes,
that basically posits that at some point in the past of the Earth,
yes,
there were beings from elsewhere that came or that
yes.
decided to
intervene. Are you
intervene.
referring to the Anunnaki?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
and they interjected their genetic material into the hominid life form that existed on Earth and helped create the human form into which souls could incarnate. Yes.
Okay.
But
Great.
why do you think your world is in decline because of that?
I don't. My question was going to be more
yes.
in the terms as follows.
Yes.
Is that intervention, in fact, something that has had, shall we say, negative effect on the Earth since that time on? In other words,
it is an interaction that has had an effect that is positive or negative depending upon how it is used and viewed.
Okay, let me ask that differently then. I understand what you're saying. Again, this is not necessarily an information that comes from you, but possibly from elsewhere, and that information posits, again, that there's a sort of colonization that has happened. Let's put it that way, that Earth and its resources are being colonized and used by, again, certain beings from elsewhere.
I see.
Unbeknownst to most of the inhabitants
I understand.
Okay.
And on some Earth, that is true.
Okay, but on this Earth...
Is it this Earth?
That's the question.
Yes, it is. And it's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Earth you're on? Do you subscribe to that reality?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no?
Got it. I don't know yet.
You don't know. All right. You're allowed to live on an Earth where you don't know.
Thank you.
So, when you make up your mind, that will be the Earth you live on.
Great.
Because that's how you change. Anything, any thought, now listen. Please, 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 please take me quite literally. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally.
Yes.
This is not symbolic. This is literal. Every single thought you have changes your entire reality. What Earth are you on now? 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 You have actually just passed through a large number of parallel reality Earths in the last 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Every thought you have means you're in a different reality. The only reason it seems like the same Earth is because a level of your consciousness agrees to experience it with each other that way. But not only are you experiencing a variety of Earths together, you're experiencing a variety of Earths separately that you have to agree you're experiencing together.
Yes.
So, whatever you decide is the truth of your world at any given moment will be what you experience. And remember, the past does not create the present.
Yes.
The past is the result of what you decide the present to be. Make sense?
That makes perfect sense, and I've recently come to understand what you just said very much with my brain.
Yes.
Of course, living it to the point where I understand it with my whole being, and that I live my life according to that idea is a whole nother level.
Would you like it not to be a whole other level?
Sure. Then
when you say that statement, don't put the words "of course" in front of it.
Mm-hmm. Great.
You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Now you get it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.